Tales from my D&D campaign.
Previously, we aren't letting Baron kill 10,000 people, become immortal and superpowered. Rygax said his powers wouldn't work for undead. He has to be living.
That's why he needs to become immortal using the Oluana Spring. It's one of the only methods that would allow him free use of the Deathmoor spirit shackles.
Elder's Blast.
Without aging him.
Cone of cremation!
Cone of what?
Ah!
You're immortal!
I was so close.
It's a friggin' Vampire King.
Good to see you. That's Cornello.
We're not fighting this guy. Are you kidding me?
I don't think that's our job.
We've got to try and run as far as we can. Who's hurt? I'm at 20? Okay, I cast heal for 120. Now I'm at 83. 83? 83 is my max. Oh, because I was like, math doesn't work.
Mora's also at 20.
We must keep moving.
We are healing or whatever as we run.
Can we Dimension Door again?
Actually, Mora isn't high enough level to door everyone.
If it's going to take us 2 castings, maybe we should save them for now. We have haste for a few more rounds.
Well, I don't, but if I switch to my lighter armor with my Ring of Arming, my stance gets me up to speed 40. If I get too far behind, you can just shoot me.
What?
Leaping Flame counter.
Teleports himself to the shooter. Oh, right. Then if I shoot you, do you like double teleport?
No, I teleport once, then smack you for shooting me an extra time. So our plan is to outrun the eternally undead Vampire King.
Well, he lost his special mount, so that helps.
And at least he can't detect us.
Well, misdirection isn't perfect, but we're certainly much harder to detect.
Swayne can see like 1,000 miles.
Well, several miles anyway, with perfect dark vision and ignoring magical darkness.
Yeah, that.
We certainly need the hills for cover.
Plus, if he just has decent skill at tracking, he could find us.
That's more of a problem, though Dimension Door drastically increases the area he'd have to search to pick up your trail.
So the question is, do we want to try to outrun him, or do we try to negotiate?
No, we're not negotiating.
I don't think he's gonna want to negotiate now.
Wait, no. Yes, he will. I think he might, because he needs a replacement Baron Deathmoor.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you do it, I'm just saying to buy time.
Draven does have a certain skill set, but I don't know how you buy time while talking to the person you're trying to escape.
I don't think he can do the shackle whatever stuff in like a day. I bet it takes at least a week or 2.
Oh, that kind of delay.
Right, enter negotiations, wait out the curse. In 3 or 4 more days, we just plane shift out.
No, I don't like it. I was saying earlier, obviously I hate the Feywild. I was on the fence about the Shadowfell, but on the other hand, I'm now undetectable and immortal, so my theories on the Shadowfell have changed a little. It doesn't mean I want to stay here. What's wrong with the Feywild?
Yeah, I'm just saying, the running away thing hasn't been working.
Hey, did we get any loot?
You guys didn't grab anything. You do still have a portable hole full of unidentified loot.
Are you kidding? I don't need anything. I'm happy with the hammer.
I still don't like that thing. Good thing it isn't one of those ones that glows whenever its favorite enemy is around. It'd be really in your face. Whoa. I just realized that with my wisdom, I can't actually cast 8th level spells. You don't have a wisdom item? I was going to buy one, but we've been stuck here.
Lord Cornello, have you found their trail?
J'ai vu une espèce d'esprit. Je crois que c'était VIKTOR.
Est-ce possible que Rygax travaille avec Swayne? It seems most unlikely.
VIKTOR, la fin du Nord.
Deathmoor et Rygax,
sonnez l'alarme.
It is done. Bien.
So, Rygax described the blessing as clinical immortality. What exactly does it do in game terms? You will never die of old age, and you cannot be magically aged. You continue to accrue age-related bonuses to mental stats, but not the physical penalties. Okay, I'm just gonna hide in a basement for a few decades.
You may have to remarry many times.
You're immune to death spells, with 10 negative energy resist. Nice. That's awesome. You get +4 to saves against magical disease, and are immune to non-magical sickness. Do I still have the Astral Plague? I'm gonna scan myself. There are definitely some new signatures, but the Astral Band looks unchanged. Plus 4 to saves. You could hold out a lot longer against it.
Woo. How often does it go off? The spring?
About every 110 years.
Actually, I don't think immortality makes sense for me.
Gnomes can live up to 350 years. I might get back here.
Raven also has fast heal too. Not regeneration, so it doesn't work for lost limbs. No, and you have to be conscious. So if you're unconscious from negative HP, it won't wake you up. But otherwise, you heal 2 hit points per round, meaning out of combat you should heal to full in a couple minutes.
Okay, now I'm a little jealous.
So your face really did burn away, as did a lot of you, only to be reconstructed. This is now the version of your body that it is trying to preserve. You are not sure whether or not the immortality will resist your attempts to remove the astral plague. That's going to take a lot more research.
Do we know what happens if you die and we raise you? Will you still be immortal?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
Because we could always take you back to that weird crystal samurai thing in Larik that offered to crush the astral plague out of us. Just let them have it, then raise you, and if you're still immortal, bonus.
That'll be plan B. Rygax is also looking at you a little oddly. Is it my face? Did it not come back right?
You have to understand. I follow Anku. Part of our job is shepherding lost spirits, and part is ensuring that death follows its natural course.
Right.
Immortal.
Now, I understand that this was an unusual situation.
Oh, please try to start something. Oh.
Look. If he attacks Draven.
He so much as twitches. No, come on, he's not a moron.
In preventing the Baron from becoming immortal, this was by far the lesser evil. I understand. But if you should ever encounter my deity, Anku in Shadowfell...
That was a possibility?
It's not impossible. If you should encounter him, I'm afraid he would offer you no help. You would not be welcome to ride in his cart, where a good soul normally would.
Okay.
But what's done is done.
And what happens when I do somehow die? If Anku won't take me on his cart?
Yeah, if you die and Anku don't like you, where do you go?
Theoretically, death doesn't rely on Anku. Death is a result of failing to live, and 98% of the time, souls just go wherever they belong. Anku comes in more when something goes wrong, when souls get improperly attached to a location, or otherwise lost or confused. I see. So don't get lost. Or just don't die.
Which is actually an option for you now.
So you guys killed Baron Deathmore.
You can't prove it. Autopsy shows natural causes.
I'd be real pissed if I was him.
You killed a guy with rage.
Also magical aging, but mostly rage.
Got so mad he died.
Man, if you could become a ghost sheerly from being pissed off to death. Piss off, ghost.
If that guy came back as a ghost, we should trap him and use him for your experiments. I'd be okay with that.
He did sacrifice 10,000 people.
So you guys killed Baron Deathmore, and you now have 2 Vampire Kings chasing you. One of them is just a dimension door and a very small river away. Well, we're still running. Hopefully the stream helps. You know they have some kind of difficulty crossing running water, though you also know that this creek starts at the spring about 500 feet away, meaning he can just go around.
Yep, keep running.
The question is where?
Where are we?
Not that far from that dead zone he indicated.
The bad place?
Is that where we're going?
That's not the plan.
I don't think we have a plan.
There's too much heat on us now. At this point, our best options may be to get help in finding a natural portal, or to make our way down into the underpass, or even the Underdark proper.
What's the map look like?
The shore is over here, Swayne's border over here. This is the bad place. We could go to the sea, try to make a boat.
I don't want to go to the sea.
The ocean is where mindhunters come from.
Also that thing with the teeth.
Or we could head back towards Swayne's territory.
Stands straddling the border.
And what's the bad place again?
It's a place that's somehow worse.
The realm of the ALBTRAUM, where even the kings fear to tread.
If a portal can get us directly home, that's got to be the best thing, right?
And a natural portal will get around the plane lock thing?
It should bypass the Curse of Natharan. Probably, if we can find one.
Mora could cast Lay of the Land. Can we find a portal that way?
Well, probably not. They don't necessarily have a physical manifestation on the terrain. Without help from somebody who knows it, finding one is largely a crapshoot. But it may help find likely spots for Mezzania colonies Rygax could check in with. Not myconids? No, Mezzania, the bacteria-type things in his fingers. And it could definitely help finding caves or other possible ways down to the Underdark. Though you could have potentially found some myconids if you'd taken the underpass. Is there an entrance to the Underdark around here?
The forest here is dense, but we may be able to find one of the entrances to the underpass.
We do know one natural portal, and you guys are gonna freak. The mountain. And even by my standards, that's insane.
Go back to the mountain?
Go back to the mountain, through all Swayne's territory.
Although Swayne probably won't be expecting it.
That guy will probably defend it. The guy who invented Mountain Hammer.
We broke the shackle. We should be able to just dimension door back in, go through the maze, and door out as soon as we're in the Fadelands part.
Hoping for something closer, Mora does cast Lay of the Land, which stores physical details of terrain in a 50-mile radius in her mind. And with that, she helps Rygax to quickly locate a colony of the telepathic Mezzania particles, which can share information with the particles residing in 2 of his fingers.
The Mezzania think Dalitassin knows how to find a portal nearby. They're a spirit not far from here.
Rygax leads them, still looking over their shoulders for Cornello, into a small, sad little clearing whose trees look weak and dying, even for the Shadowfell. You take us to all the best places. Rygax kneels beside one of the weeds, a bare dandelion head with only 2 seeds left.
These people are friendly. You can open up a little.
In a ripple of green, the moss stands up into grasses, shrubs straighten up and leaves pop out, and the clearing becomes verdant and alive, to the point that there's a sort of glow in your peripheral vision, though when you turn or focus on any one thing, they don't seem to glow.
Dalitassin, I'm told that you know where to find a portal around here, to leave the plane, preferably to the Fadelands.
Out is good. The others move closer, treading carefully, as in front of Rygax, life sprouts further, but on a much tinier scale. Miniature buds and grasses. Oh, cool. It's like a tiny map. Hello, tiny map.
Oh no, this doesn't help at all.
But there is a portal.
What's wrong with it?
It's useless. There's a Fadelands portal. It's not even that far from here, but it lies just within the border of that place.
What do you mean doesn't help at all? That helps lots.
No, you don't understand. Whether it's 10 miles or 10 inches inside those borders, it doesn't matter. Cross the threshold, and you'll become playthings, subject to the whims of a twisted nightmare being.
Freddy Krueger?
Oh, man.
We have will saves. Can we just buff our wills?
Can we just hang out here in this clearing?
All we'd be doing is dragging trouble to Dalitassin.
They're an unshackled spirit?
I don't think Cornello has any use for them, but a battle here would be terrible for the poor thing.
So, once you're in there, you're in there.
Yes, the ALBTRAUM controls every aspect of that area. The portal should be less than 100 feet in, but once we cross the threshold, we might march for days and never reach it.
Rygax, have you actually been in the bad place?
No.
Then for all you know, it could be rainbows and sunshine in there. That would be a nightmare for vampires.
That is very true.
We've gone everywhere he wanted to go, and they were all terrible. Why don't we go the one place we know is going to screw us?
I've only lived this long by weighing each risk against the desperation of the cause. And I'd say we're nowhere near that desperate yet.
Also, very true. Maybe underground is better.
Tunnels are good for hiding. Draven, can you do the burrowing thing again? Like in a desert?
I'm out of low-level infusions, but I still have some higher ones. Actually, hold on. I have a 3rd level one I can burn to cast 3 1st-level ones, so yes.
Because somebody burrows down, find a tunnel, then we dimension door down.
Actually, I should be able to do a mass burrowing, so we can all dig down together. It's probably better than going into the Nightmare Zone.
Does your mossy friend have a suggestion of where to dig? And if she says Nightmare Land, I'm stabbing the f***ing ground, I swear.
Dalitassin helps Mora find a landmark to match up with her Lay of the Land spell. a spot a few miles away that should be directly above the upper tunnel of the underpass. And as they leave, the spirit casts a mass cure spell, healing them for 15, before the vegetation browned and folded into its previous shabby, withered appearance.
I thank you for your help.
If we're ever back here, we'll try to repay you somehow, which will hopefully be never. So they set out on a course meant to intersect with a section of the underpass, where they would magically dig down into the upper levels. After some minutes, you spot some huge things sticking up in the distance. Spot's a strong word. Once you notice them scraping the sky, they seem like they would be hard to miss.
So big scorpion tails in the hills ahead of us.
How tall? Like, right to the ceiling of the world?
Yes, and the tails are thick too, like colossal scorpion thick. Where we're going?
Our destination is closer. We're probably fine unless they turn around and come back toward us. Cornello has mobilized the Ladons, great scorpion-like creatures, but tied to the element of earth.
I wonder what their poison is like.
They can sense vibrations through the ground at great distance and precision. If we had to, we could sneak past them with flight, levitation, or teleportation. But it looks like they are far enough away that we might not have to. Perhaps they're cutting off the border.
Or maybe Swayne has forces coming across.
How deep is the tunnel we want to find?
It varies, but call it about 1,000 feet down.
The brewing spell, infusion, whatever, will give 15 minutes of dig time, so if we were worried, we could start even farther from those things.
Wait, they can burrow too?
The desert one could burrow through sand.
And these ones are earth elemental. They're colossal in a 17-foot tall plane. All we can see is the tail. I'm betting they dig.
Okay, I'm gonna give myself tremor sense as well. Lasts for 150 minutes. As they dig down diagonally, the first 10 feet of depth is very creepy. The layer of soil and clay near the surface has a fairly high concentration of humanoid bones, many of them semi-intact skeletons. But they aren't moving, right? Nope, just dead bones. Feywild is still worse. This burrowing spell goes through stone, right? Yeah, right, because you were able to use it back in the Dwarven mine.
I'll lead the way, because my hearing the air stance should help a bit.
And because you're not Draven.
Agreed.
They sense and avoid a couple of smaller things moving around, but it only takes them a minute or so to find a void and break through into the tunnel. My hero.
Can we just wait out the 5 days here?
Well, this is a tunnel. Things might pass through here.
I don't think it'll be that easy.
Can we find a dead end?
The thing I don't like about a dead end is it would be stuck in a dead end. Also the word dead. Now a cul-de-sac. That would be okay. But are you stuck in here with them, or are they stuck in here with you?
Yeah.
I wish I had a rope trick prepared.
Honestly, if Cornello tunnels all the way down to meet us, what are we going to do anyway? Might as well not worry about it.
That's exceedingly unlikely. I've never known the kings to venture underground.
Can we rest in the tunnel?
Actually, I still have 1 or 2 high-level infusions. I can cast Wall of Stone. Is anyone claustrophobic? I don't know. Are you? No. That's good, because that would be uncomfortable.
I'll cast Expeditious Retreat and scout around.
The tunnel is very irregular, most of it a little narrower than the spot they dropped down, but it quickly becomes apparent that it's full of little alcoves. So far, nothing big enough for hiding the whole party. There is fungus and stuff on walls, but not much on the ground, suggesting things must come by here fairly regularly.
And the scent?
You're sure things have been through within the last week. Some you don't recognize, but some scents suggest elves or similar. Drow. The first major split you find is about 800 feet west, and it's not just a dead end, it's a proper branching, with a number of small tunnels splitting off into dead ends.
Nice.
You do spot a few acid rats skirting about, and if you can see that many, you're sure there must be loads of them, and a considerable ecosystem of bugs that they eat, but you wouldn't consider them threatening. To you, at least. Not while you're awake. Let's find a less populated dead end. Can we just clear out the bugs? The rats, easily. The bugs, it's not like carpeted with them. But when you start looking for a spot to bed down, there are more than you'd like. And clearing them would be pretty labor intensive.
I could clear it out. With blistering radiance.
Please don't. That light might be visible for Anku knows how far. Perhaps a smaller spell?
I'll use my lightning breath.
Dead end, I'll wall it off. Leave an air hole. Air hole is good.
Can you dispel the wall when you want out?
No, it's permanent.
I can dispel it. Mountain hammer.
Actually, let's make the hole a crawl space. I don't like the idea of being hardcore trapped.
If you make the wall solid, we can break the hole, then pack the rubble back in to hide it.
Done. Done. So, did you say some of you are staying outside?
I don't need any spells. I can do this all day.
I haven't cast much either. I'd rather scout.
Well, if I rest, that's more heals.
Capital H heals.
Yes, though they're kind of wasted on Mr. 83 hit points.
What you're really saying is, I'm low maintenance. How far do you want to scout?
Let's just do a perimeter. We don't actually want to find trouble.
We just don't want trouble to find us.
What does acid rat taste like?
Acid.
Acid.
Like jalapeno?
You think that other shit burns on the way out. Either their precautions were sufficient, or perhaps acid rats can just sense when potential prey has excessive amounts of magic. Regardless, you rest 8 hours without difficulty.
Yeah.
Yay. Alright, good.
Now here comes the death part. Jem's like, I must make sure they are fully rested for this next encounter.
You'll hear a rumbling in the wall?
Cornello shows up.
Even though he's not supposed to be down here.
Nope, no Cornello. Unless he's using superior invisibility, then you wouldn't know.
Do we actually have any reason to leave here? It's kind of a defensible position.
Maybe. I'm not opposed to staying here.
Someone could track us to where we started to tunnel. Maybe even to where we came out. Burrowing doesn't leave a tunnel, but it probably still disturbs the rock.
Is there any reason we'd want to go hunting down the drow tunnel?
Not unless we knew there was a natural portal.
And we don't.
And we're fairly well protected against divination.
I'm perfectly fine spending the next 4 days learning how to cook acid rat.
We have rations.
Yeah, we don't really need the food.
I gotta keep busy.
I keep busy by scouting.
So when Angel goes to explore, she doesn't come back. No, she actually comes back early. Like, right away.
The tunnel stops here.
Isn't that where we came in?
Yes.
So we're sealed in? I don't see the problem.
Did we plane shift?
Oh yeah, what if we went through a portal?
Well, if you were in the Feywild, Krillodin would sense it, or Angel could tell from the vegetation, so we can rule that out. What about the boring plane?
This is very bad.
Everything's very bad.
Is it an illusion?
Feels like solid rock. In fact, the texture looks and feels far more natural than Draven's wall of stone, though it's still suspiciously straight. You don't see any signs of magic or other tampering. You'd swear it was always there, except that you know it wasn't.
Alright, time for little one's problem-solving skills.
No, just leave it until we know what's going on. I'm worried that the next stage is going to be a wall here.
Maybe we just lucked our way into the Fadelands.
No, we haven't left the Shadowfell.
I checked down this way.
It stops here. You didn't check too far the other day, but you know it went farther than that.
Elder Mountain Hammer.
Makes a big crack, but is not a thin wall. Feels like nothing but solid stone behind. I'm curious where these walls are coming from.
Earth Elemental Scorpion powers?
Alright, guess burrowing again. Get the hell out of here. Or we can stay here and fight whatever it is. I'm okay with that too.
When you turn around, there is a stairway here, heading up. Perfectly even stone stairs, 45-degree angle. Goes so far up there's light up there. Might be all the way to the surface.
That was not there a minute ago when I checked the other paths.
Looks like an invitation.
Oh yeah, come up to my throne room.
You know, if they have the power to do this, there are probably a lot more aggressive things they could do than stairs.
I bet it's a fight up there. Let's go.
I don't think we have a choice. I can't imagine how this could happen unless the ALBTRAUM somehow extended their control this far from their borders.
I was wondering about that.
It is exactly as Krillodin said. This is an invitation, one we cannot refuse.
Why would it be inviting us?
For dinner.
Oh, so we're in the Nightmare Land anyway?
It shouldn't extend this far south, or this far beneath the surface. But I have no better explanation.
So it's taken over the entire ground?
No, that cannot be possible. I think they must have stretched their will along some kind of narrow corridor to reach us. Even that, it should not be possible.
So, how do we kill a god in his own environment?
At this point, I want to keep the burrow in our back pocket and try the stairs. This thing has too much ability to with things.
At this point, I have a really high will save.
I do not. At this point, you could use these pests as an improvised weapon. Just bonk people with rats.
Rodent Mountain Hammer.
You'd have to spend an hour using your warblade skills, training yourself to use acid rat nunchucks.
Sweet. We'll keep that in mind. Alright, I'll take the lead. I can buy us time with my Ring of Force ball if need be.
I'll be right beside you. Or, it's only 5 feet wide.
I think we need you in the rear. We can't assume anything. Trouble could come from any direction. Maybe not from behind.
After ascending only a short ways, Angel noticed there was now a wall 30 feet behind them.
Alright, this is awesome.
Did we all sleep?
Yep.
Then none of this is real.
But we slept in shifts. There was always somebody up.
I still don't think this is real.
It might not be. The staircase continues onward and upward in a straight line at 45 degrees, until, after about 1,400 feet, they emerge into a forest clearing, neatly but densely lined with trees.
Not real. We're either dreaming or we've been mind controlled.
What if we walk down backwards? Just then, a bolt of green lightning strikes down into the clearing, and stays, and sprouts arms.
Oh, great.
Hell of an entrance.
Welcome to my little fragment of reality.
You must already know that you can't leave, yet to proceed will be painful on every level and quite possibly fatal. Fortunately, I have an easy way out for you. To send you all back home so you can leave the darkness and vampire kings behind you. No puzzles, no traps, no bizarre nightmare beasts, no maze with every step leading you further away from the night twist and the portal.
Can't have it.
Solve all your problems in one simple step. No money down, no long commitments.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Act now while this opportunity lasts.
There's no way whatever thing he wants is something we can go along with.
Rhino rush.
You're rhino rushing the lightning bolt? There's no way that's a good idea.
It could hurt, but it'll hurt him as well.
ALBTRAUM, I presume?
Yes, of course. I'm sure he told you all about me.
No, actually, that's not his MO. He tells us just a little bit, and then we find out the rest in horrible, horrible detail.
No offense, but it's true.
Well, I can understand why. Everything's much more amusing that way.
Rygax shoots him a dirty glare. Just for the sake of argument, what exactly do you want?
All you have to do is kill Rygax. I'll cure my pet's nightmare curse, shove you all through a safe, convenient portal to the Fadelands, and you can put all this ugliness behind you.
Oh, well, alright, we can do that. I must say, kind of tempted.
Pet's nightmare curse.
Oh, that's right. You don't even know about that yet. Don't we have a scroll of break enchantment?
We can just resurrect him later.
Do you say that out loud?
I can't say that out loud.
Why do you want him dead?
Well, I could kill him myself. And probably will if you don't accept my offer. But there's a certain way these things are done. Procedures to follow. You don't understand what it's like to be a god. There are rules. There's a reason Sirius or Marduk or little Anku don't wander down here and start smiting things. Just as there's a reason Asmodeus or Delvash or any number of other fine folk haven't come down and erased Rygax themselves. But you could. Mortals, you have no rules at all. Anything goes.
That's true?
But if you're a god, you don't need us.
That's the thing. He's not a god.
I think you'll find I'm close enough for your taste. Come on, charge me. It'll be fun.
Then I'll do it.
Alright, make your to-hit roll.
It'll hurt like a son of a bitch. Or I might even die.
Or run into a wall.
Oh my god. Didn't even think of that shit.
If he controls everything here,
Nightmare.
why do you hate Rygax?
Because he's Rygax. You just don't know him well enough.
Oh, we know him.
So you know! Besides, I am, in a sense, a servant of Asmodeus. And the Lord of Hell has no love for Anku and his meddling flock. But if you aren't going to take the easy way out, then all those other things I mentioned, enjoy!
The ALBTRAUM waves and a row of trees snap off at the base, falling away to leave a neat path out of the clearing. It's all a death maze and stuff like that.
What sinister traps and trials lie ahead of our heroes? Next time on Tales from My D&D Campaign!
See, this is the problem, guys. This is the problem. I'm stuck in this spot where I know about Rygax, almost revere Rygax in a few ways. However, he's been a little bit weird. However, the option I'm being presented with is, if I don't kill him, Draven dies.
Rygax hasn't been defending himself too much, kind of assuming you're good people who wouldn't just murder him.
But Draven's my charge, though.
The way I see it, these are our options. We can turn Rygax's head to jelly, and theoretically, this guy will send us home. Though, I don't trust that. Otherwise, we just have to walk out of here on our own.
I'm not touching Rygax. We half-elves have to stick together.
He's got a hammer that says differently. I don't want to kill him, but at this point, if I believed it would actually get us out and home safely right now, Rygax would be dead right now.
It doesn't bother me that much, because we can just res him.
There is no way you would be leaving with his body. If he dies, he's dead.
Angel wouldn't be against killing Rygax, but I think if we kill him, this guy will kill us anyway. He won't need us anymore.
He might follow spirit rules, though. He might have to stick to the letter of his agreements. Well, it's the end of the night. If you kill Rygax, I'm going to have to make up a bunch of new material this week. So, if you're going to kill him, do it now. You're not allowed to kill him early in next session. We'll just go down the path, figure out his maze, whatever.